I'd like to talk with you about a guest that I have today. Her name is Vanessa Raymond, and I'm tongue-tied because I've still got some wiring to do in my brain after my aneurysm. So I will get going. I will let Vanessa introduce herself. Go ahead, Vanessa. How are you today?
Thank you, Ernie. I am really great, and it's so fabulous to be here. Thank you for inviting me to your show. My name is Vanessa Raymond, as Ernie said, and I am originally from South Africa. We'll probably chat about that a little bit more. But I am a confidence and success coach. I'm also an author and an international speaker. I am fitness director for Visa Corporate, and I'm also a part-time massage therapist. So just doing a lot of different things. And as you know, Ernie, I'm also very involved in Achieve Systems as the education leader there.
Exactly. In fact, if any of my audience is involved in medicine, Medicare, different things of that sort, where you are actually a person who has a business that focuses on wealth and wellness for people, you would want to talk to Vanessa or myself. And we have a huge system called Achieve that you can get into, and there's various levels that you can actually start at. So I want to bring that to your attention. In fact, Vanessa's husband runs that system, and he is very good at what he does. One of the systems that I want to talk about is your background in theatrical and artwork, and you were an actor and a dancer at one time. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure, Ernie. Well, I started dancing when I was 3 years old. My mom put me in ballet, and I just fell in love with the world of dance very early on. As a matter of fact, people who see me speak, I tell the story that when I was 4 years old, I was dancing on my grandmother's coffee table while she was playing the piano. And she turned around and said to me, "Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to perform. I want to be," well, I just said, I want to dance. I want to dance, right? I want to dance. And as I grew up, I got to dabble in, I learned playing the piano from my grandmother, and I did singing lessons and dancing lessons. And then as a senior in high school, I decided that I wanted to go into musical theater. So I went to college and majored as a musical theater major. And that really is what led me to the fitness and the wellness industry, because being a dancer is so active. And as a dancer, you have to also take care of your body and take care of your injuries and take care of everything that you go through. But I always say that my background in the performance industry, and I performed professionally for 15 plus years, is really what gave me the tools to be successful as an entrepreneur. And so many things I've learned from that world.
That's wonderful. In fact, Vanessa, you are talking about different things that had happened to you along the way of becoming a great dancer. And one of the things is that you took care of your body. You knew how to feed your body. So in other words, you have the experience to pass on to your people, to your tribe, to anybody who wants that type of coaching. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. So I coach now. I really love working with entrepreneurs, speakers, and leaders on their confidence. Part of confidence encompasses everything. So when we want to be confident, we want to know how to take care of our bodies. We want to know how to stay healthy, and we want to know how can we keep our self-image and our self-confidence at a high level. And I've learned so many tools from the performance industry to help with that, not only exercise and nutrition, but also principles of how the body and the mind work together, and human needs psychology, things that you can do on a daily basis that absolutely helps you understand how we're so powerful as human beings, and we have so much control really over our bodies and our minds that we do not harness on a daily basis. And there's so many very simple things we can do that really can make that process easier on us. I really do focus on things like posture, body language, positive self-talk, those types of things that really, because the body and the mind work as one. And if you understand how your body affects your hormones and your brain and vice versa, it's very empowering.
You really hit on a key point, Vanessa, when you talk about how much your mind has control over your body. Now, I have two people in mind that I knew. One of them is a friend of yours and mine. His name is Gary Barnes. And this individual used his mind to eradicate most of the multiple sclerosis in his body. And if anybody has read The Secret and knows of Morris Goodman, when I was in corporate America, we used Morris Goodman, so I knew him. He actually gave me his tape and his book, and I felt really honored. And he willed his body back to life after having a broken neck in the first and second vertebrae. Yeah, he walks like a robot and a mechanic and what have you, but he was determined to eat, sleep, drink, and breathe on his own again, which he couldn't do after his accident. So you are correct in what you say, that your mind can actually take over and help heal your body.
Ernie, and the opposite is true. So this is really why I love all this stuff, because it's so empowering when you understand that. Firstly, just as you mentioned, your brain is so powerful and you can heal the body. But I don't think a lot of people understand how much of an effect the body can have on the brain.
Yeah.
Right? Because
right.
I mean, through so many studies that have been done on, everyone understands. I mean, a lot of people heard of like the runner's high, right? When people go running and they create endorphins in their bodies, and the endorphins gives you energy and it lifts your mood, literally. And therefore, like you said, the brain can heal the body, but the body can also uplift the brain. And when I say the brain, I'm really talking about our mental, emotional state. When people are feeling defeated, or they're going through a difficult time in their lives, when they understand how you can use the physical body to also improve the state of the mind, you have that vice versa effect going on. And that's largely what I focus on when I work with my professionals on self-image and self-confidence, because self-image and self-confidence is a muscle that you need to condition, just like you need to condition the muscles of your body.
I would agree with that. That's a good way of looking at it. Vanessa, was there ever a time in your life where you faced roadblocks that you overcame?
Oh, yes, many, many of those. And it's funny because I'm a very positive person, as you might know. And so if you asked me this question maybe a couple of years ago, I wouldn't be able to tell you, because I really had to go and search for those roadblocks when I was looking at sharing my stories with people to help inspire them, because I moved past those, across and past and through those roadblocks, and then I put them in my past and I kind of forget, right? But most definitely, one of the reasons I'm so passionate about helping professionals find their image and improve their self-confidence for success in their business is because as a performer, I have dealt with being shut down so many times, and all the no's that you hear. And I'm saying the performance industry, but really that's true anywhere in life, any career, any entrepreneur. If you're going for job interviews, if you are selling products or services, you hear no an awful lot. And you need to learn how to deal with that and how to turn that into your advantage. And as a performer, going from audition to audition to audition, hearing no, and having that feeling of no, I'm not good enough. No, I'm not pretty enough. No, I'm not skinny enough. No, but then coming to the realization that it's all objective from the whoever's taking the audition's perspective, right? From that director or that choreographer or that person, they have an idea in their mind of what they are looking for. And if you don't fit the picture, you're not going to get the gig, right? It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means you didn't match whatever their idea was of what that part should look like. And I think once I learned that and I realized that, that's when I really started becoming more successful as a performer, because I wasn't internalizing that stuff and making it about me. I was like, okay, you know what? I was not right for that part, on to the next. And that's really when I talk about the tools that I got from the performance industry. As an entrepreneur, when you are promoting your services or your products, you got to understand that when that no comes, it's not a personal attack. It is just that it's not right for that person in that moment at that time. And maybe but there's always more people. There's always someone else that's going to need what you have to offer.
That's very true. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are in business or whatever you're in, and you plant the seed, if you do it the right way with the people, eventually they'll come to you and say, tell me more. But if you come across as an arrogant, pushy person, you may not get that person coming back to you. And I think that's part of Vanessa's message. And, staying positive and knowing that no means they're not rejecting you, and no necessarily doesn't mean no, it means not now, because the timing isn't right. Vanessa, if people want to get a hold of you, where can they go and get this information and have a conversation with you?
Absolutely, Ernie. So I am on Facebook and on Instagram. On Facebook, you can just search Vanessa Raymond. And I'm in Colorado, Vanessa Raymond in Colorado. You can find me there. On Instagram, my handle is VEEDANCE, VDance04. So you can find me at insta.com, VDance04, or you can find me on my website, which is victoryfactor.com. And then also, or you can email me at vanessa@victoryfactor.com.
That is
There's a
wonderful.
whole bunch of ways.
Yes. I want to thank you. And this information will be put underneath the YouTube playback that this will be on, as far as that goes. And in fact, if you want to be interviewed, if you've had roadblocks and successes in your life, and you want to share that with the world because the world needs to hear your story, contact ErnieMeyerLive.com. And there are several places in there where you can book a free, mind you, free interview with Ernie Meyer, and I would be glad to help promote you. So thank you very much, Vanessa. And I'm going to